We talk softball, baseball, and women's golf on this week's edition of Inside EKU Sports. We begin with Jane Worthington, the softball coach. Began the program 28 years ago, got your 800th win earlier this season. First of all, congratulations. That's quite a milestone, Jane.
Well, thank you. I've been super fortunate to be able to coach at Eastern for as long as I have.
You know, the thing I was impressed watching your team so far this season in home games is just how fundamentally sound, for the most part, your team is. You do the little things right. I know one time you see an error or two you don't like, but overall, you play the game the right way as a team.
You know, we have so much talent on this team. We just haven't been able to get it going. And all of our players have the knowledge and the skill to get the job done. It's just really trying to piece it together and to find the right combination. And then the other thing that we've run into is that normally at this time, we would have had 24 non-conference games before we start conference, which allows us to work out quite a few kinks and to get some reps under our belt before we start conference. And this is a little bit different this year.
Player that is really hitting the ball well right now, as she did over this past weekend when you won 2 out of 3 against Jacksonville State, is your first baseman, Carly Robinson, had a game-winning walk-off home run and a 9-inning win, had a home run in another game as well, and Carly's really seeing the ball well right now.
You know, she is, and she's always been a good hitter. The difference between past years and this year is that she's become a little bit more of an aggressive hitter. In the past, she's been willing to take her walks. But over time, I've convinced her that we don't want her to walk. We want her to hit the ball.
I know if you go back, and every coach does this, you look back on a season and say, if this game would have been different. That game on Sunday against Jacksonville State where you had one strike to get the win, up by 1, a couple of wild pitches, they tied it, and then you go to the 9th, they get up by 1, you load the bases with 1 out, can't get the run in to tie or go ahead, and that one could bug you if you don't do things on down the road.
No, for sure. All it does is just puts a little bit more pressure on every single game that we play. We had our chances, you know, we left so many runners on base that entire time. There were plays that we didn't make that could have, balls that fell that I think we could have gotten to and didn't. So, yeah, we had a wild pitch or a pass ball, however you want to score it, but it didn't come down to that play. There were many other opportunities that we could have made so that it didn't go into extra innings.
You have a pretty deep pitching staff from what I've seen so far, and also this is a team that knows how to come back if you fall behind as well.
Yeah, no, we have some good hitters on our team, and we have good defense, and our pitching staff is deep, and I'm never hesitant to go to somebody else if the other team starts to hit the ball or get onto the pitcher that's currently there. It's truly a team effort, and we have the pieces in place. Again, we just have to believe it, have the confidence, settle in, and get it going.
After a midweek doubleheader at home against Morehead State, it's 9 straight games on the road for this EKU team. So you've got to be road warriors here over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Sure. And, you know, it's always way more fun to play at home, and it is a little bit more relaxing, and our players get to stay in their beds, and their parents get to come to our games on the road. That's not always the case. But it's something that we do all year. You know, early on, we were on the road for quite some time. I would definitely not use that as an excuse for being tired or if we were to drop a game, because we should be used to that by now.
The pressure on all the teams is that only 4 of the 12 will make the postseason tournament, and then you have to win that in all likelihood to get to the NCAA. So you have to take care of business inside the conference. Is that the main focus and key right now, is to win these series and to try to stay in that top 4?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like you said, the top 4. in the past, I've always kind of felt like we can be in the top 8, regardless of how things go, or if we drop a game here and there that we shouldn't. But I think that because it's only the top 4, that's put added pressure on our players and pressure on me. I need to relax a little bit so that my players can relax and that I can get the best performance from them. But yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking only 4 teams make it. That we got to do something.
Yeah, well, pack your bags well and good luck on the road. We'll see you back after this home series this week. You'll be April 10th, the weekend series against TSU, and then Kentucky on April 14th. This season is rolling along, Jane.
Yeah, no, it sure is. It took a long time to get here, but it sure goes by fast when it gets here.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for catching up with us on EKU Softball. When we come back, we'll talk with one of the great arms out of the bullpen with the EKU baseball team next here on Inside EKU Sports.
That comes to $1.45.
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, for the cookie. The books are free.
For everybody?
For all undergraduate students. We call it EKU Book Smart.
Let's make that 2 cookies.
On campus, online, delivery, or pickup at EKU. The books are on us.
We talk baseball now with Bryce Travis, left-handed pitcher, a freshman out of Madison Central High School in Richmond. 5 innings over the last 2 outings, both wins, and just 2 runners on base, 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And you and the rest of the bullpen really pitching well right now. Talk to me about your mentality coming into college and being able to do what you've done.
So whenever I got to college, I knew it was going to be a different animal. I had to throw consistently good. There wasn't hitters that you could take off. It was always those guys are on scholarship. They're good. So I had to bump up my performance level. And the bullpen's doing well right now. We had a struggle start with some rough outings from the bullpen. And so now that we're getting some great starts from our starters and then quality innings out of the bullpen, we're looking really good.
Were you more of a starter in high school? Have you had to change the mentality of when you go to the mound now in college a little bit more?
Yes, I was a starter in high school, and whenever I got here, I after our fall exit meetings, he told me I was going to be out of the pen, which is it's not too different, but at the same time, it is different because I have to prepare myself quicker and kind of be prepared for any situation that I go into. Like I could come in with bases loaded, and that's completely different than a fresh inning.
Many people have said in college baseball that the University of Louisville has the best position players in the country, and your team, 5 relievers, go 6 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball, and you upset them a week ago 6-3, and you were part of that and got the win. My partner on ESPN Plus, Wes Chandler, says that's a Johnny Holstaff win. You guys were really good. That had to be a fun one to win.
Oh, yeah, that was a great one because, they were ranked, I think, like 6th in the country at that point. And, they're very good, too. So it was a real relief. We had some really quality innings out of the bullpen, and I just happened to be at the right time to get the win.
Madison Central High School is known as one of the better baseball programs on the prep level in Kentucky. You come out of there, so does shortstop Logan Thomason. What about Logan on the play to record the second out of the 9th inning? He comes from shortstop at a ball that's lifted just foul down the left field line and makes a diving catch. It's number 2 on the Sports Center top 10, and he deserved that. I thought hockey got a number 1. I thought he was the best play of the night, but what a play. What did you see? Were you in the dugout at that time? Did you see it?
Yeah. I was in the dugout, and I thought our left fielder Max Williams was going to get to it. Then I realized he was kind of playing deeper towards left center more, and I figured I've seen no team make plays that are that good or better since we were at Central together, and so I knew he was going to make the play. And I agree. I think it was definitely number 1. That was a crazy play.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I paused at the time because I thought like you did, that the left fielder was going to get to it, and then he just kind of missiled his way in and made a great play. Now, you've got the conference, and that's the most important thing, but when I look down and see your Power 5 schedule this year and these games played and games ahead, you've had 3 against Georgia Tech, 2 each against Louisville, Tennessee, Kentucky, 1 against Vanderbilt before the season is over. That really tests you. That's a tough schedule, but do you think that helps you be a better club in the OVC?
Oh, I guarantee it, because then we're facing guys that are just that caliber of player to be that Power 5, like arms, especially for our hitters, and us pitchers really facing that kind of those Power 5 hitters. It really enhances our ability to throw whenever we get into conference play as well.
When you look at the conference of this year, of the 11 teams, only 4 will make the OVC tournament. You're sitting there just a game out of first, but there's a bunch of teams around you. What does Coach Pro tell you and the rest of the team about competing and trying to win series? And just, I know it's one game at a time, but I mean, there's a lot of pressure on these conference series.
Yeah, he hasn't really said much about worrying about the end result. He's always about, if we're doing the right now, the end result will take care of itself. So we don't have to worry about winning this many conference games or this, that. We just play really good baseball every time we step on the field and play to our full potential, and then we'll like where we're at the end.
Bryce, off the field, you are a biomedical sciences major, pre-dental pathway there. So you've got to deal with some really tough academics eventually in your career as well. So how do you balance it? Because baseball's a grind.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's been a kind of not a rude awakening, but a shell shock whenever I first got to the season time, and I'm still trying to juggle classes and go into class and when I can. But I mean, I was prepared for it. I took hard classes all throughout high school, and so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. And I know that they're going to get harder as it goes along, but I just got to stay on top of my work.
You want to be a dentist? Is that your goal? What's your goal?
Pediatric dentist, yes, sir.
Awesome. Sounds good. So off you go to SIU Edwardsville next. And what do you know about the OVC? What have you learned early on through 6 games in OVC play about the level of baseball?
So I didn't. I was told by the upperclassmen whenever we first got here, it was like people overlook the OVC all the time. And I've seen just through the first few games in it, it's a hitter's conference. These guys can hit it. I mean, we played Presbyterian and we played some pretty good baseball and still not Presbyterian, I'm sorry, Morehead State, and we still lost 2 out of 3 at that one they hit the ball real well.
That's a squirrely park though. I mean, that's a different park there with the short field.
Yeah, it was a little different. We got our fair share of hits off that wall too, but they played well. So, and we got to continue to improve. So we got a long way to go.
All right. Keep pitching well, and good to catch up with you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Bryce Travis out of the bullpen for Eastern Kentucky. Up ahead for the Colonels in Edwardsville, Illinois this weekend, Friday, Saturday, 3 games, and you can catch them on ESPN+. And when we come back, we'll check in with the EKU women's golf program here on Inside EKU Sports. We talk women's golf now with the head coach, Mandy Moore. EKU won the Bobby Nichols Invitational last tournament out in Sevierville, Tennessee, and you won that by 26 shots over a field of 13. Sounds like the young ladies are really hitting the ball well right now.
Yes, we were excited to pull out that win and for us to be leading, and to keep the lead was good for them. And they're playing good right now. I'm just really proud of this group. They've been working hard all year, even in the fall when we couldn't compete. So I'm glad that they're starting to play well at the right time. It's exciting for them.
You've been led by a senior, Ragga Kristinsdottir, who won that tournament individually, finished second in another, and she has been solid for you since she arrived at EKU. But I've noticed her stroke average is down a couple of strokes from her, or almost 3 from her career average now.
Yeah, she's that win this last week was well deserved for her. She's the hardest worker that I've ever coached, and it's just well deserving. She's been working hard. Her mental game has improved tremendously over the past year, and for her to be so close in Jacksonville, and then to have the lead here and to pull it out, even with the rocky start that last round, was a huge confidence boost for her. And I know she's just going to keep continuing to play well.
Beyond her mental game, where has she improved? Or has it been her shot making, or putting, or short game? Where do you think she's really upped her rounds of golf?
I think the biggest thing for her has just been eliminating mistakes. Her misses are a lot tighter than they were, and she's making more putts. She's always hit the ball really well, but she would have several birdie chances and just not convert on some of them. So she's much more consistent inside of like 5 feet putts, but she's making some of those birdie range putts, those 8 to 12 footers. So I think that's what made the difference for her this past week.
We normally see golf as a individual sport, but we see, like in the Ryder Cup, for instance, a team sport. It's a team sport on the collegiate level. Tell me about your team, and where do you feel your strength is, and where do you need to button up something to get, championships as we go throughout this spring?
Well, this team, they're a special group, and they've, like I said, been working super hard, and it's been interesting this year. With COVID, we've started to play tournaments with our own team, which is totally different and a new thing for us to kind of get used to. But I think it's been a benefit to us because our team, they get along well and they encourage each other. And but it's definitely a different dynamic. It brings that team aspect in way more than normal, because now you're playing right there with your team, so you know exactly what everybody's doing, whether your score's counting. Everybody feeds off the energy, whether good or bad. So it's a whole different ball game out there for us this year. But I think for us to continue to play well, we just got to keep limiting our big numbers on some holes. We'd have a tendency to make a few too many doubles or 3 putts. But I mean, that kind of comes with golf. So we're just going to keep trying to eliminate those and just keep working on what we're working on. But I know this team is committed to what we're doing, and we all have the same goal in mind for that OVC championship. So we're going to keep working at it.
Up next is a tournament on your home course, the University Club at Arlington. It's the Colonel Classic. It's been a long time tournament annually, and you have a good field coming in next Monday and Tuesday here in Richmond. Yes, we're excited to be able to host again. It's nice to at least have one trip where the travel's easy, and it's nice to get to play it out in Arlington, have a little bit of a home course advantage, and we've got a good field, and it'll be a good one for us to test our games again, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull out the win at home. And I know on your radar is the OVC championships last year in the conference. It'll be down in Alabama again. They have so many good golf courses down there. It's April 18th to the 20th. I would assume you're trying to you hear basketball coaches talk about playing well at the end of the season. Are you kind of pointing that way as well, with that kind of the marker on your golf radar? Yeah, that's our number one goal every year, is that OVC championship, because that's our ticket to NCAA regionals. And we talk about it all year. We've talked about it since August. And, we work and practice for that last round of conference. So that's our goal. We're just going to keep working and getting better every day, so that we hope to be peaking right at the right time in April. All right. Good luck the rest of the season, Mandy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mandy Moore, the golf coach at Eastern Kentucky. Again, the Colonel Classic on Monday and Tuesday here in Richmond at the University Club at Arlington. And then that's followed, as we said, in mid-April by the OVC tournament. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. Like and follow all of these social media pages, and that way you'll keep up with all Colonel athletics. Until next time, so long, and as always, go Big E.